Now we take up one more example, that is a reaction between silver nitrate and sodium chloride, and the products are silver chloride and sodium nitrate. Now how do we make these formulas for these reactants and products? So silver nitrate, that is AgNO3. Two radicals are there, one positive, one negative. Silver is 1 plus, nitrate is 1 minus. So you cross it and you get AgNO3 because only one positive, one negative. So it is simply AgNO3. Then sodium chloride, that is sodium and chlorine atoms will get together, and you get sodium ion here, chloride ion, and they cross and you get NaCl. Again one negative, one positive. So again the formula will be NaCl. Both are aqueous solutions, that is they are prepared using water as a solvent. Then what are the products? Silver chloride and sodium nitrate. So silver chloride, silver 1 plus, chloride 1 minus, crossing it will give you AgCl. It's a precipitate. What is the color of the precipitate? White. Precipitate is a solid insoluble substance. And when such substance is formed in a reaction, we indicate with a downward arrow. And it settles down at the bottom. And the second product is sodium nitrate. Sodium ion and nitrate ion. Both one positive, one negative. So you get the formula NaNO3. That is aqueous. So this is how we write down the reaction. There is another way now. How will you predict the products? How can you find out what the products are? Here in these equations, you have been given reactants and products both. But in exam, you will be given only the reactants. You have to find out what the products are. So how can we find it out? So here in this particular reaction, here we have one positive ion and one negative ion. Similarly, one positive ion and one negative ion. So when such is the case that the reactants have got one positive and one negative radical, and here also same thing, then there is just exchange of radicals. Here the positive of the first reactant will combine with the negative of the second reactant. So silver combines with chlorine and gives rise to silver chloride, whereas the positive of the second one here, that is Na, and nitrate of the first here, that is NaNO3, combine and give you the second product. Always we will write down the positive radical first. Here we have written silver, it was positive first and negative Cl next. Same way here also sodium and nitrate are there. So sodium is positive, so we'll write down first sodium and then we will write down nitrate, that is NO3. So this is how we can find out what the products are. This is called as a double displacement reaction, and where you have got the two reactants and both the reactants have got one positive, one negative radical. So this is how we can form AgCl. This has been shown to you. What is the color of the precipitate? That is white. You have to remember this. So I hope you have understood this particular reaction. Here all the atoms are balanced, one silver, nitrate ion complete. We will count here, say NO3 radical, so NO3 radical here also. Then sodium is here, one sodium, one here, and chlorine one here, chlorine one here. So this reaction is a balanced equation. Now let's go to the next slide. Now in this equation, this is just the same as what we studied in the previous slide. The only thing is that I've just given you one method of remembering the products. So this is silver nitrate and sodium chloride, and it gives silver chloride and sodium nitrate. So here I've just made a box. Now this box, if you remember, you get the two products. One is silver chloride, that is Ag and Cl. This is one product, and second product is inside the box, NaNO3 Na, but we will write positive radical first. So first you write down Na and then you write down NO3. So there are some equations where we can make such things, some tricks we can have, and we can easily remember the products. So this slide just tells you about this particular method in which we can easily remember the products. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Children, all these reactions are given in your textbooks, and we are covering all the equations. So that you get ample of practice, we are going to take up all equations one by one. So I'm just following the lesson and I'm taking up all equations. This is one more example. The seventh equation, that is sodium hydroxide and sulfuric acid, and they combine and they give rise to sodium sulfate and water. Now this is a very common and popular. You must be knowing that it is a reaction between a base and a acid, and it's going to give you salt and water. That this reaction is a neutralization reaction. The reaction between acid and base to form salt and water is called as neutralization reaction. So here we have got a base that like sodium hydroxide, and we have an acid like sulfuric acid. So the product is salt and water. Salt here is sodium sulfate and water. So let's make an equation out of it. Sodium hydroxide, that is NaOH. Every time we need not make formulas using crossing the valencies. Some formulas you have to remember. These are some very common formulas, and so you need to remember these formulas. So one such is sodium hydroxide, that is NaOH. Still I have done the crossing and shown you here. Then here this is sulfuric acid, which again you need to remember, formula H2SO4. Both are aqueous solutions and the product is sodium sulfate. Now here we need to make the formula. How will we get this product, sodium sulfate? So sodium is 1 positive, sulfate ion. This is a sulfate ion. It has got valency 2 minus. So sulfate is 2 minus. So when you cross, you are going to get Na2. 2 from sulfate you will get, and sulfate will get sodium's valency, that is 1. So we did not write it here. So you get the formula Na2SO4. That is Na2SO4. That is aqueous, and water, that is liquid. So this is how we get the formula, that is sodium sulfate. We'll learn about the balancing in the next slide, and I hope you have understood this. This is a similar type of equation. Here also we are going to have this is positive, this is negative ion. Na is positive, and hydroxide, this ion is called as hydroxide ion, that is 1 minus. Hydrogen is positive and sulfate is negative. So again you have sodium combining with the negative, that is sulfate ion, and giving rise to sodium sulfate, and hydroxyl ion here minus 1 minus, and hydrogen being positive combining and giving rise to water, that is H2O. So this is one more example, and let's balance this equation in the next slide. Okay, let's learn to balance this equation. It's a very simple balancing that is there in this. Here again we have written down sodium 1 atom, we have oxygen 1 is here, but all we will be counting, that is on the reactant side, 4 here, so total becomes 5. Hydrogen 1 here, 2 here, total becomes 3, and sulfur is 1 here. Product side we have sodium 2, sulfur 1, oxygen 5, 4 and 1 5 here, and hydrogen is 2, this 2. Ignore the coefficient. Now what is to be balanced is sodium first. Very simple. Here we have 2 sodium. We will write down a coefficient 2 in front of sodium hydroxide. So this is 2 sodium. So sodium is balanced. Now what is left to be balanced is hydrogen. Now how many hydrogen do we have here? 2 here. Now this 2 is common. You have 2 sodium, 2 oxygen and 2 hydrogen. So this is 2 hydrogen here plus 2 hydrogen here. So total hydrogen here is 4. How can we make 4 here then? By writing a coefficient 2. So this becomes 2 2s are 4. So now this is balanced. Hydrogen is also balanced. Let us count oxygen whether it is balanced. This is 2 oxygen here and 4 oxygen here. So total is 6. So how many oxygen here now? 4 here, and 2 coefficient which we have written here is common for both hydrogen and oxygen. So 2 here. So 4 plus 2, 6. So hydrogen is also balanced, and sulfur was already balanced, 1 and 1. So every atom is now balanced. So with this, we balance the equation, and let's go to the next slide.